What's up, y'all? Today we are taking a look at a knife from Herman. This is a knife that I didn't think I would ever get to put my hands on, but here we are, and for that I am very grateful. So today we are looking at a Sting. So these come very nicely packaged with this really good certificate of authenticity here in steel. The date on this one is March 20th, 2025. Got M390 61 Rockwell, and this is a fat carbon version. Of course, we've got the titanium handle scales on that. Polish Custom Knives, of course, are the main distributors for Herman, and today we are looking at the Sting, and a really cool one at that. So this is just a knife that it needs to be experienced to really be understood. We can look about it and talk about it and listen to it. What a great sounding knife, but this thing just melts in your hand, and the action on it is very addicting, opening and closing alike. Very nice drop shut action. Sometimes you may need just a little shake on this one, sometimes you do. Sometimes it will completely fall shut. I'm sure they will break in with time. I'm not sure if this one has seen a whole lot of action. So again, the fat carbon, we've got this nice green and yellow inlay there, and a matching anodized clip and backspacer to match it. This really well done milling on the titanium and fat carbon that kind of blend together. That nice fluting pattern there is a really good detail, as well as on the pocket clip. Very long pocket clip on this one, but that gives it a good, the right amount of tension for some really good in and out of the pocket. And the action, again, I mean, that is probably one of the main calling cards with these. These have some of the very best flipping action or any action altogether of any knife that I have tried. If you know what a good knife feels like and you know how good that action can be, they call it kind of like a light switch or just that click. You know, you can't fail this thing. If you're getting it past the detent, it's coming open. There, it is tuned just so. You barely have to push on. I won't say barely. It's not a hard press. It just feels very smooth, very natural motion to get that thing out. Perfect amount of access to the lock bar there. We see how it is, the liner is inset into that handle scale, and these are milled out as well. So this is actually a very light knife. This is a mid-sized knife, I would say. It looks like we got right around just over a 3-inch blade, and it's everything you need and everything you don't. But that's not why we that's not why we collect things sometimes. I would say the vast majority of the collections aren't things that we actually need, but that is aside the point. These are something that are very, very nice to experience and something I'm very grateful that I was able to do. We can see we've got these little details on the inside here, proudly made in Poland. Get that focus going there. On the inside of the backspacer there, all of the edges are nice and chamfered. Very, very nice ergonomics again with this knife. It just immediately feels like an extension of yourself in hand. I think people who talk really a lot about hot spots, I mean, I don't really talk about hot spots too much. I think that's kind of silly sometimes, but no hot spots on this one. I guess I say that, but when there's a bad hot spot on a knife, you really know it. But I don't know if you're going to be doing the kind of work with this thing where you necessarily worry about it, but if you wanted to, you could. And I think that's the main thing a lot with a lot of these higher priced kind of expertly built knives like this that not a lot of people heavily used. It's kind of like getting a 600 horsepower car that you don't take to the track. Well, you're probably not going to be doing that just on a but regular highway or residential streets. But you have it and you paid for it and it was built to be able to do that. So it's good to know that it could if you wanted it to, or if you needed it to, or if you did want to take it to the track. That's that's part of what you pay for with it. The quality is there. Of course, we've got a 100% solid lockup on this, as to be expected, and nice little polish on that pivot. Take a look at what else comes with this. So it comes with the protector glide for Herman, and a pivot tool. Always very nice to see. Ooh, this thing is hefty. I don't know if this might be steel, given the weight of it. This is a chunky, this feels really nice in the hand, but good tool for that pivot, for disassembly and tuning. A lot of there's internal screws here. So we see like the screws here for the lock bar. You know, we don't have the exposed, we just have these small protruding pins here, and they do hide those clips under that, they hide the screws under that pocket clip. It makes for a very nice, very clean construction here. And this is an interesting finish on this blade here. I'm not sure if I would call that like a sandblast or a bead blast. It does almost appear to be a type of bead blast, but it does give this really nice sheen, especially out in the sunlight. You get almost a glittery effect on that blade, which is a very nice little detail there. But I would like to thank Ray with WeBuyKnifeCollections.com for letting me take a look at this Herman. This is not one I was able to purchase for my own collection, but one that I was very enthusiastic to be able to get the opportunity to check out and handle and kind of see what all the fuss is about, and I'll tell you, I understand. Just the action on this thing and how good it feels in the hand. I understand, you know, why they are as sought after as they are, and kind of why they fetch the price tag that they do. This is a special knife. I'll say it again, probably for the 20th time that you've heard me say on this video. So sorry, I know that doesn't really help with the actual description of it, but anyway, I hope you found this one interesting. I certainly do. Thank you for watching.